Hey, how's it going, guys? Fox Racing, and welcome back to my channel. Guys, I just wanted to actually shoot this video very quick. I'm just taking a break a little bit. It's been busy today, you know. I'm in Manhattan. Look, honestly, I did upload my last video, and in the beginning of my video, I kind of mentioned one of my friends from, well, he's one of my subscribers. I never met him personally, but he asked me kind of question, and he was very specific. I know he knew about the rules and regulation of the Taxi and Limousine Commission and our especially us here in New York City drivers that are actually active with Uber here in the city. So he asked me the question. He's told me, like, is it worth it for me to switch market and move to New York City and start accepting requests? And I told him it's perfectly fine. I mean, as long as you're an active driver with Uber in Long Island, because he's from Long Island. I mentioned, guys, that Long Island is divided into two sections: Nassau and Suffolk. Suffolk is the end of the eastern part of Long Island. And I told him it's perfectly fine, you know, as long as you have an active account with Uber. All you have to do in order for you to start accepting requests with ride requests with Uber here in New York City, you need to apply for your TLC license. You know, TLC license, it takes a little bit longer. Maybe it takes, might be from like 3 to weeks, a month. You know, you have to say, well, at least you have two to 3 weeks. You have to be in class, you know, where to learn about geography and how to navigate the city in the five boroughs of New York, because obviously, you know, it's a process. So once you go through that 2 or 3 weeks of classes, as long as you pay attention in class, and eventually there's an exam at the end of that 3-week class. 3-week classes, but 3 weeks, yeah, and then you take that exam. It's really simple, you know. Honestly, like I mentioned this, like third grader would pass the test, unless, you know, if something happened and then you flunked the test. If you do, then you would have to wait another 6 months in order for you to actually take that test again with Taxi and Limousine Commission. So it's kind of a sample, like I said, but I told him, yeah, all you have to do at this point, just make sure you get your Taxi Limousine Commission license. And once you get your Taxi Limousine Commission license, and for the fact that you're an active driver with Uber in Long Island, Uber would definitely 110%, because I'm positive that Uber will definitely approve your request to switch markets. You know what I'm saying, from Long Island to New York to New York City, because, you know, it's win-win for him. Because if he moves here and start driving in New York, he could still go to Long Island and get requests from there, but most of the requests that he's going to be getting there as a New York City driver is those requests, they're all coming into New York, into the five boroughs of New York. See, like us, like, you know, like back then, like maybe 3 years ago, you know, like when Uber was only confined to only the five boroughs of New York, that means that we only supposed to pick up and drop off in, I'm going to mention these five boroughs of New York again. It's a Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, and the Bronx. These five boroughs, you know, we could pick up and drop off. Although, like, drivers in New York, in Long Island and Westchester County, I'm sure you know Westchester County also is part of New York. I just don't understand why Long Island and Westchester are not part of the five boroughs of New York, although they're very close. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's how it is, you know. But like I said, I told him, no, it's fine. You could come here, like I said, but he needs to basically take care of that, get that hack license first, and then switch market. But once he switches market, you know, he cannot actually bring his car here from Long Island to work here. Although, I'm going to tell you this, you know, Taxi and Limousine Commission in New York City happen to be here. It's the sort of the headquarters of Taxi and Limousine Commission. Although Taxi and Limousine Commission has offices in Long Island and in Westchester also. You know, and they enforce the laws there when it comes to a transportation business, when it comes to, you know, like for hire vehicle people that wanted to actually drive in Westchester and Long Island. So that means if you decided to go drive in Long Island, you would have to get a license, which is it's the same thing as the Taxi Limousine Commission that we do have in New York City, but the Taxi Limousine Commission in Westchester and Long Island, they have like a simple process when they go through this license. There's no exam involved. All you do, you have to pay $100 and then fill out your application. As long as you have clean criminal record, past criminal record, and you have to have your state license, and also, and there's a fee like $100. It's not a big deal versus us here. Our fees is almost like $1,300 to $1,500 by the time you're done with your license from New York City Taxi Limousine Commission. So it's very simple. And their license, it only says for hire vehicle on it. Although our license here in New York City, we could use it for yellow, green taxis, liveries, limousine, and black cars. You see that? And also we could drive for paratransit, like this little ambulance, they call them, that we could go pick up handicapped people. But license from Taxi Limousine Commission in Westchester, Long Island will only allow you to drive for hire vehicles, black cars, and the local taxi companies. You know what I'm saying? Because Westchester and Long Island, they have these individual owned yellow cab companies, and in order for you to work for them, you would have to have that for hire vehicle license from Westchester and Long Island. That's why most of the drivers in Long Island and Westchester, they pick up there, they get a request from Uber in Westchester and Long Island, but they only allowed to drop to pick up from there, from Long Island and Westchester, and they only allowed to pick up from there and drop off in New York City. And once they drop off here, they get locked. Uber locked them off, and they have to go back to Westchester and Long Island to resume work from there. So this is the only reason why there's two difference between us New York City drivers and people that drive in Westchester and in Long Island. Let me tell you something, because I know for a fact, as a drivers here, as a Lyft drivers, when we go to Westchester and we go to Long Island, there's no service there with Lyft and with Lyft. You know what I'm saying? So it will only be like, but yeah, if you, as a Lyft driver, when we go to Connecticut and Jersey, we're allowed to pick up there, but the only pickup that we're going to get in Connecticut and Jersey with the Lyft is coming back to the five borders of New York. It's coming back to New York City. You know what I'm saying? Although like before, we had that opportunity with Uber to pick up and drop off, but although at this point, like even with Uber, Lyft in Connecticut and Jersey, we only allowed to pick up from the Connecticut and Jersey and drop off here. And Lyft is not even in once you pass the city limit, going to Long Island and Westchester, there's no Lyft there. So I'm telling you, so honestly at this point, I just wanted to include every person in New York State. As a driver in New York State, I don't care if you live in Saratoga, Buffalo, Troy, Binghamton, anywhere along the perimeter of New York State. New York State, it's 850,000 square feet, miles of land. So you could be anywhere within the state, and if you're an active Uber driver and decided to come here and drive in New York City, you still have that opportunity. It's kind of weird. There's always things around stuff, and honestly at this point, like as a driver, let's see if you're driving in Buffalo, right, and you have an active Uber driver account, you could still come and drive for Uber Lyft, although you can only drive for Uber actually at this point. I don't think you're going to be able to drive for Lyft unless if they actually approve your application to switch market from here to here. But Uber, because Uber, it's statewide, an active Uber driver from New York State, anywhere in New York State, any corner, any place within New York State, there is a way for you to come here, and the only way is to get your TLC license from New York City Taxi Limousine Commission, and then Uber will switch the market for you, and you should be able to start getting requests here. But once you actually get your license from Taxi Limousine Commission and you start working for Uber Lyft, there's another thing that you cannot do, is you cannot apply for your own license. You can see our licenses right here. I'm gonna put it right there on my screen, and there's another one right here that you can see. Basically it says it starts with the W. It's Westchester Taxi Limousine Commission plate, and the other one you can see clearly it starts with the N. It's a Nassau County plate, and these are TLC licenses plate, but our plate allow us to actually drive in the five boroughs and pick up from Connecticut and Jersey, and also in Connecticut, in Westchester and Long Island. So like I said, guys, I just wanted to like let people know that there's still opportunity to work for Uber in New York City, although Uber Lyft are not hiring drivers because there's permanent cap on the drivers and the cars, and TLC, they're not giving out the place also. So let's see, you're from Buffalo, you decided to come here, you got your license, Uber put you on the platform. There's one thing that you cannot do is you cannot bring your car and use it here. You would have to rent a vehicle from one of the Uber fleets. It's because some of the fleets here, they have plenty of these cars and they're not even renting them out at this point. And that's only way for you to be able to actually get a car, which is basically comes with the license plate from New York City Tax and Limousine Commission, and also it's already insured. Only thing you have to pay is weekly fee to rent the car. But there is another opportunity also, if you want to get your own car from Tax and Limousine Commission, because you already switched market and you're already accepting ride with a rental vehicle from a fleet, you still be able to get your own car. But the only way you could get your own car from Tax and Limousine Commission, and Tax and Limousine Commission will approve that for hire vehicle license, like I do. I own mine because I was grandfathered in and I have a TLC license plate on it. Is if your car, the TLC will approve your vehicle, and you could still be able to get your for hire vehicle permit, although TLC did not give it out the plates. But the only way you could get the plate from Tax and Limousine Commission is if your car is 2015 and newer, and it happens to be wheelchair accessible or an electrical car. That's the only way for you to get that application approved through Tax and Limousine Commission to get your own plate. So there's not only one opportunity for you to actually be on Uber's platform here, although you're from another part of the state of New York, you have an opportunity also to get your own car, but your car's got to be 2015 and newer and must be wheelchair accessible on an electrical car. So guys, I just wanted to clear this up because if someone tells you no, Uber is not hiring, you still be able to get on board with Uber here, but with this 3 exception. The first one is very important, is to get your license from Tax and Limousine Commission and switch market from Buffalo or from Troy or from Saratoga, whatever, because like I said, obviously Uber about 4 years, I think 3 years ago, more than 3 years ago, Uber was only confined in the 5 boroughs of New York City until Andrew Cuomo decided to legislate for Uber to be statewide. Lyft, you could drive for Lyft in another part of the state, right? But I'm sure you're not going to be able to get on board with Lyft here unless they happen to approve your application to switch market. But I'm sure Uber will switch your market as long as you're an active driver with Uber in the state of New York. Because Lyft, like I said, and I'm going to say this again, Lyft, we only allowed to pick up and drop off in the 5 boroughs of New York with Lyft. And once we pass the city limit going to Long Island and Westchester, there's no service there. Right? There's no service there. And obviously, when we do actually go to Connecticut and Jersey with Lyft, the only trips that we get, and that applies to Uber also, is the trips going into New York City. Although like before with Uber, we used to drop off and pick up in Connecticut and Jersey, it's no longer the case. Guys, I just wanted to clear things up, and I wanted to address all the drivers in New York State. I don't care where you are, with an active Uber account, active driver, you will have no problem for you to come here and switch market and start driving for Uber in New York City. Once you switch market, because obviously you might live in Long Island or Westchester, or maybe you live in Buffalo, right? You know what I'm saying? Unless if you decided to move to New York City, but you could drive here and drive back to Buffalo, and you could still get you could still be on Uber's platform in Buffalo, because obviously they will still allow you to pick up in other part of the New York State, because I've tried it myself. I drove from here upstate about 3 hours, and I'll still be able to be online. You see what I'm saying? So as New York State Uber driver, as a New York City driver, you would have that opportunity to be online anywhere within the state. Versus Lyft, I'm not sure Lyft it's actually even will allow you to go online, because I know for a fact as a driver for Lyft that we don't have service in Long Island, nor do we have service in Connecticut with Lyft. You know what I'm saying? So no, we don't have service with in Westchester with Lyft, nor do we have the service with Lyft in Long Island. But with Lyft, we could actually go to Connecticut and Jersey and pick up from there with Lyft. But the only rides we get in with Lyft from there are coming back to New York City into the 5 borders of New York. So guys, I just want to shoot this video to just let you know exactly what the opportunity for some of the Uber drivers in New York State if they decided to switch market to New York City. It's simple. Just get your hack license from New York City and Uber will switch your market with an ease, no problem at all. Guys, I just wanted to shoot this video to let you know exactly what's up. You guys stay healthy. God bless America. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.